Alright, today we're going to look at Chapter 11, your body image, and Section 1 specifically is going to look at how we're going to maintain a healthy weight. Ooh, I am having spelling issues still. Healthy. There we go. Now, obviously just what we're going to talk about here is your body image. The way you feel, the way you see and feel about your body is what your body image is. Obviously, people typically are pretty negative about their body image. It's okay to feel good about your body image. I think sometimes people forget that. And oftentimes how you feel about your body image affects what we're going to call your self-esteem, what you value about yourself. Obviously, if you don't have a very good body image or feel you have a very good body image of yourself, your self-esteem is not good. Usually means you're a little more grouchy, a little more crabby, not as much fun of a person to be around. This is semi-normal, but however, we need to make sure we can control the things we can or cannot within this. And part of the reason I say that is just because of that. Everyone is different. Everyone has different genetics. Some people are taller, some people are shorter, some people are broader, some people are thinner and narrower, however you want to say it. Some have a small bone structure, some have a large bone structure. I was gifted with a very large bone structure for a person my size, but automatically makes me weigh a lot more. That's not the only reason I weigh a lot, but it is part of it. Do not let the media portray how one should look, okay? And this is really important. I know a lot of people look at this, that, and everything else, and they portray that this person's so glamorous because they have this look. It's not true because it goes back to what I just said. Everyone is different. Some people have natural things, other people just don't. And as long as we understand the difference, it's okay. And we must be okay with that. Everyone is different. Be realistic about who you are. Within this, it basically means that, you know what? Not everyone can be. I always think of sports because sports, like I said, is so easy to do. Is you have one quarterback, few wide receivers, and a couple running backs. You have 5 offensive linemen. All right. Everyone's got to know their position. If you're 6'6", 290 pounds, you're probably not playing running back. All right. Vice versa. If you're 5'8", 140 pounds, you're probably not playing offensive line. You can, but not as likely to. And like it says there, do not compare to others. Compare yourself to yourself. Like we said, no two people are the same. If you have a classmate that looks a certain way, you kind of are envious of it. Don't be. You need to be yourselves. And do not compare. Alright, let's talk about what is considered an appropriate weight. I love this because I was like the one that broke all the rules on these. An appropriate weight is the weight that is best for you. Factors do include your gender, male, female, your age, are you a teenager, your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, all those things factor in there. Your overall health, and what's your frame build, alright? And I kind of mentioned that about myself a little bit earlier, alright? I always get a kick out of this because, well, we'll hold off on that story for just 1 second. Alright, now the next thing we'll look at is what's called your body mass index. Your body mass index basically is a factor that factors in your height and your weight into account. It's a chart. I don't really care for it because here again I kind of broke all the rules on it. And which leads me to the story I was going to tell you is that right when I was coming out of high school, I had a number of military recruiters come talk to me, and they're like, how tall are you? I said 5'10", and they said, what do you weigh? About 210. And mind you, I probably did not have much body fat on me at all. And they're kind of like, ooh, we'd have to write an exception for you then, which they'll probably take in a heartbeat because they said you're a pretty big kid, pretty strong kid. Which I found really amazing because my brother used to chew me out because I didn't weigh 200 pounds and I was 5'10" when I was like, I think I was about sophomore in high school when I hit that level. So that's what I mean. They're meant to kind of more as guidelines. They're not the end all be all. Alright, now we're going to get into what we call weight problems. Alright, if we're overweight, we're wearing more than what is appropriate for gender, height, age, weight, body range. Most you would probably say, I am overweight. And you know what? You are right. I am overweight. I weigh way too much. However, me being overweight is kind of one thing. When I was your age, I guarantee you I might have been considered overweight, but no one would ever dare say I was overweight. Now here's what's scary. This number is probably actually not even up to date anymore. 1 in 5 adolescents is overweight, right? Which means that we probably aren't at the appropriate weight where we should be. Mainly due to lifestyle, like we said. More kids are sitting at home, sitting on video games, watching TV, sitting on their phones instead of being active. Little things are factoring into that. Before they had remote controls, you had to get up and turn the channel manually. You used to have phones that had cords, so you could only go so far from the phone. So those little things where you just walk back and forth and burn little bits of energy made a big difference. Type 2 diabetes is rising in adolescents, okay? So those you don't know what's the difference between type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is kind of like the genetic one. Type 2 is basically lifestyle induced. Type 2 diabetes is rising significantly amongst adolescents. It is a growing concern. Like it says, it goes back to the lifestyles, the foods we're eating, and everything else, and our body is not handling it very well. We're also seeing an increase in cardiac diseases in adolescents. Actually, the number of kids that are going into the hospital with cardiac arrest type symptoms is unreal. It's kind of scary if a person wants to look it up in the last 20 or 30 years. But it all comes back to what we talked about, lifestyle. Okay, we also have another segment of our population that is kind of overlooked, and it's what we call the underweight. Those that weigh less than what is appropriate for your gender, age, height, and body range. Typically, you're going to be underweight if you're not getting enough nourishment. That could be for a number of reasons. Some people, it could be a financial reason. Some people, it's a choice. Some people, it may be due to, even some different eating issues, all right? None of these, there's not usually a good reason for anyone to be underweight. Typically, people who are underweight cannot fight sickness, so obviously they have a hard time, fighting off just a common cold or flu. Affects growth patterns. This is kind of scary if you actually stop and think about it. People that are undernourished obviously don't grow at the rate they should be growing, which could affect how tall they are and everything else. And also other factors within that. Causes anemia, okay? Anemia is when there's not enough iron in your blood. And if you're anemic, you're typically pale, you lack energy and effort, and it's no fun. I know some students that have had it over the years, and it's a struggle. It's a fight just to keep their energy up and keep going day in, day out. Alright, let's talk about how we can reach our appropriate body weight, alright? This is what it's going to call the energy equation. The energy equation means your calories cannot exceed the output, alright? Your calories you take in, so the foods you eat have calories, obviously, which is a measurements of energy, shall we say. Alright, if you are doing a very active lifestyle and you're burning 2,500 calories a day, well, you should not be eating more than 2,500 calories a day. This is often easier said than done, but it is true. That's why they recommend 60 minutes of exercise daily. 1,800 to 2,400 calories daily for women. I mean, like we said, that number varies depending on activity level and everything else. I know some young ladies who 1,800 calories is probably not enough, or even 2,400 calories are not enough. And I know other ones that, that's probably too much for what they do. And you can't think of it, you got to think of it as a day in, day out approach too, is that if you're really busy one day, doesn't mean you have the ability to take the rest of the week and just eat however you want. You got to constantly be monitoring what energy you're outputting. Same thing for guys. It's obviously a little higher, and the reason that is guys naturally have more muscle, which tends to burn more energy. All right, sorry ladies, it's true. Men typically naturally have more muscle. You're going to have 2,200 to 3,200 calories daily for men. And it's also just important that we understand the type of food that we intake within this, all right? Your book does a good example. You can eat a chocolate bar that's 250 calories, or you can eat a turkey sandwich, which probably has a lot more valuable nutrients in it. Managing weight in a healthy way. Do it in a safe and healthy manner, right? You're not going to just all of a sudden decide you're going to start cutting weight one day and lose a bunch of weight. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so within this, we also must make sure we avoid fad diets. Typically, they work for a short term and they do not work in the long term. Actually, what we find out with a lot of people is that as soon as they go off their fad diets, they actually put more weight back on than what they started with. Avoid the extreme workout diet. The number of people, I think it's P90X, a number of people that have ended up in the emergency room trying to do the full P90X workout has been quite substantial. And the amount of people that are ending up in the hospital because they're doing things their body just cannot do. So choose a safe and manageable plan. Just like it says, what we talked about, use the energy formula, use workouts, all right? Don't jump into a workout plan like hardcore first day. You need to make sure you take your time, work your weight. Little things, if you're in your calorie formula, instead of eating a full meal, you just maybe take little portions off, and maybe you eat like 90% of your food that you would normally eat. Energy, if you don't do anything, well, start with doing 15 minutes a day for a week, then maybe double that to 30 minutes, then to 45, then to an hour. Do the little things and make it a safe, manageable plan. All these things working together makes this a much more easy and bearable way to do it. All right, let's make sure we read Chapter 1, Section 1, or Chapter 11, Section 1, and have a good day.